At 3:52 p.m. May we have a roll call for the City Council again?
Council members: Friedman.
Here.
Jarian. Here. Quintero.
Here.
Nadian.
Here.
Mayor Weaver.
Here. And your report.
The agenda for the January 28, 2014 special public meeting of the City Council was posted on Thursday, January 23, 2014 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
And next.
Director of Community Services and Parks regarding fiscal year 2013-14 Federal Workforce Investment Act funds to the Glendale Youth Alliance as approved and recommended by the Verdugo Workforce Investment Board. 1A is a motion approving an award of the WIA funds to GYA in the amount of $79,780 and authorizing execution of all related contracts.
Thank you, Mr. Ochoa.
Yes, we have a very brief presentation for you, sir, that brings full circle this discussion about the lives of members of our community, and this is and relates as in regards to the Glendale Youth Alliance and providing some additional funding for them. Just can introduce Karina to come up and talk a little bit about what this money will do and what past monies have done for this particular program.
Thank you.
Mayor Weaver, members of the City Council, very briefly, every year when we develop the WIB develops its funding plan, it's based on estimates of what we anticipate to be receiving from the Department of Labor in terms of WIA funds. And then later in the year, we receive our final allocation, and then that gives us an opportunity to allocate those additional funds to our service providers, in this case, our youth service provider, which is GYA. And GYA was originally procured under a competitive basis, and that's how we get the contract with the Glendale Youth Alliance. So that's what this agenda item represents. It's been reviewed and approved and recommended for your approval by the WIB board, and so with that we can call Karina and she could give you an update on GYA and the programs and services and how this funding helps them meet their program goals and objectives.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Karina Gregorian, Community Development Supervisor with the Glendale Youth Alliance. I'm very excited to be here. We're doing great things at the Glendale Youth Alliance. We're trying to stretch every dollar and serve as many youth as we can within the community. As you may know, we have 5 programs that we operate. Last year we were able to serve 350 youth. The previous year, 402 youth. 2 of our programs are enterprise programs. They generate revenue. Private property owners can hire the youth to do brush clearance, weed abatement, general labor tasks, and we bill the homeowners or city departments for the work that's done. We also have our GREAT program, which is very similar to an employment agency. Youth are placed in different work sites. We bill the work sites bi-monthly for the youth wages, and the money that comes into the programs goes back into hiring youth and paying for the operations. As just mentioned, we do receive Workforce Investment Act funding, which pays for our TEAM and EIP, Employment Incentive Programs. Our TEAM program is focused on serving high school seniors. We provide training, work experience, as well as prepare these youth for post-high school. So college, we assist with FAFSA applications and so forth. The Employment Incentive Program serves youth ages 18 to 21. These are young adults that are either in college or have graduated high school or have dropped out of school, and we assist them in finding permanent employment for these youth. And we also have our Summer Youth Employment Training Program. Last year we had 700 applications for our summer program. Due to limited funds, only 151 youth were able to work. This is only 22% of the youth that applied. Some of the services we provide are client-centered, goal-oriented case management, paid work experience, actual jobs for the youth, training, scholarships, supportive services such as bus tokens, food, work attire, referral to other resources within the community. Last week we had a young man that came into our office looking for work. After the staff met with him, they learned that he was homeless. They sent him to Ascensia. Assessment was conducted, and we're working with Path Ventures right now, and he's scheduled to move into his new home on February 1st, which we are excited about. Priority is given to the youth with barriers to employment. These are youth that are homeless, have disabilities, foster or on probation, youth that are pregnant, parenting, sole providers of the household, and low income. Some of the highlights from last year: February 7, 2013, we received the 16th Annual Community Appreciation Award by the Northwest Glendale Lions Club. We also partnered with Public Works in replanting 200 trees that were damaged during the December 2011 windstorms. We partnered with Community Services and Parks in the construction of new trails, hiking trails, behind the sports complex. We, for the third consecutive year, GYA was selected as a Payless Gives partner, which means we received 75 shoe vouchers for the youth of our program. On November 26th of last year, we were recognized by Small Business Heroes and Insurance for the exceptional work we do in our community, and we were presented a check for $1,000. We've also been selected as one of the organizations this year which will benefit from the Jewel City Fun and Fitness Ride, which is coming up May 18th. I hope you'll be able to attend that. It's put on by Glendale Noon Rotary and Walk Bike Glendale. In addition, we have strong support from the community, from the businesses that hire our youth to the private property owners like Mr. Frank Quintero and Ara Najarian. But most importantly, we're changing lives. We're making an impact in the lives of these youth. We're getting them off the streets, reducing crime rates. It's a win-win for everyone, for the entire community. But we do have a lot of challenges as the needs for our services increase. The funding, especially grant funding for these programs, are shrinking. There's uncertainty on the federal, state, and county levels, and our operational expenses are increasing as well. September of last year, CDBG conducted a community needs assessment, and some of the priorities that the community expressed were employment programs, youth programs, and after-school programs, along with homeless services and senior programs. So it's definitely a need in our community. I do want to thank City Council and management for all your support with our programs and fundraising efforts. And if I may, I would like to invite Orbel Barsagian to share his experience with our programs very briefly.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Orbel Barsagian, as Karina introduced me. Thank you. Pretty much I was introduced to the Glendale Youth Alliance program about 7 years ago. It was just exactly when we moved to the States, and it was a pretty challenging time actually being new to the country, learning the language as well as finding a job ultimately. I was very fortunate because one of my friends was one of their summer programs, and he introduced me to the program, and then since then I've been to different programs. I started with the summer program at Glendale YMCA, and afterwards I was introduced to the one-year year-round program by GYA as well, which I worked at Baskin-Robbins, and afterwards I was placed into Glendale Verdugo Job Center, VJC. I worked there for 4 years, and afterwards, at the end of last year, I was offered a new position with Glendale Public Works at maintenance services, and since then I've been with them. Some of the good things about Glendale Youth Alliance is the fact that it teaches us as a youth, specifically for me, I was a youth and I had no resume, I had no work experience whatsoever, and it just gave me all the tools and guidelines on actually how to be in an interview and actually how to present myself, and it truly supported me to be the man that I am today in my job at the moment, which is really beneficial, and I'm very fortunate to be a part of the program, and also very fortunate to be able to be here and also present my story. And also, as far as my future plans, I love working for the city, and I've been part of the city for the past 5 years, and my ultimate goal is to eventually become a permanent employee with the city of Glendale and truly make a difference for the life of our community, actually. Yeah.
Thank you. Very well spoken.
Mr. Mayor, I think I first saw Orwell when he came and spoke in front of CDBG maybe a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. I have to say your mastery of the English language
It's good.
it's skyrocketed, because you were 2-3 years here from Iran, if I remember correctly.
That is correct, actually, yes.
And anyway, it's obvious just how much progress you've made, and GYC has a lot to do with it. So.
Thankfully.
Good
If you have any
speaker.
questions,
Do you
we'd
want
be
to-
happy to answer.
Oh, I think he speaks for the program very well. Thank you. Good luck. Maybe we'll see you permanent one day,
Hopefully.
working with her.
I'll move the item.
Second.
Roll call.
Council members: Friedman,
Yes.
Najarian,
Yes.
Quintero,
Yes.
Sinanian,
Yes.
Mayor Weaver.
Aye. With that, if there's nothing else, we'll adjourn at 4:02 PM.
Motions to adjourn?
Second. Oh,
Sheriff,
so moved.
motion.
So-
Second.
And we're adjourned at 4:02 PM. Now, can we have